What's up, good people, wonderful people of Steeler Nation, and anyone else who may be joining in with us tonight? Welcome. Welcome and hello. Happy holidays to everybody out there, regardless of what you celebrate. I'll say Merry Christmas to those who celebrate that. Happy holidays to those who celebrate something else. But all in all, whatever floats your boat, merry, happy that. But welcome, everybody. Welcome. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Got my Christmas Steeler PJs on. You know, trying to be festive. Trying to have a good time. Trying to bring a smile to you guys' face. Because there's not a whole lot to smile about after that game on Sunday. So we're going to get to it. We're going to have a good time. All right, guys, so let's say hello to the early commenters. We got my man Y Diggy in the building. Hello, Lanisha, the lovely Lanisha in the building. Lovely lady of Steeler Nation. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Guys, lay out the red carpet. Say hello to our wonderful ladies of Steeler Nation. Take care of them. Treat them with care. Crazy Ron Gaming, Vista Light. Who else is up in here? Ali Howard, Sonny Roth Miller, Chris Fowler. My good brother Kenyon. Doing something crazy tonight, Kenyon. Just having some fun with the holiday stuff going on, man. That's all. Who else we got up in here, man? Anybody else early? Nope. Oh yeah, my boy CT Pittman is in here as well early. And that's about all we got right now. Let's get to it. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Make sure the audio levels and everything are where they need to be, You're going to hear it echo here for a quick second. And unfortunately, I can't really test this until I start the stream. So I apologize for interrupting the video to do this, but I have to make sure it's streaming properly. Let me turn the volume down so y'all won't hear it doubling. All right, there we go. All right, let's get to it. First, we're going to talk a little bit about Mike Tomlin. Not much. Tomlin didn't really give us a whole lot, man, in terms of after, the loss to the Ravens. Not just that. It just wasn't a whole lot to talk about in terms of what he talked about in his presser. Again, there's not a whole lot you can take from that. The only main things that I took away from it, man, really was, certain guys that will be possibly making their way back. We actually know that already. And let me pull up that list for you guys who have not seen it. Let's pull up the list on the injury report. We'll take a look at what the Steelers have in play as well as the Kansas City Chiefs. So the unfortunate news right now, guys, is we already know that Ben Skowronek is out, and some of you guys might not understand why that's unfortunate. And if you haven't really been paying attention, man, Skowronek has been doing good things for us. Had a couple catches in the game against the Ravens. Big body guy. Has done wonders for us on special teams. Also, in the Arthur Smith offense, he's out there a lot of times in 11 personnel, but utilized as a blocker. But like I said, Skowronek is a hard-nosed guy, man. He's done some things for us, so I hate seeing him not be out there. And again, Joey Porter Jr. will be out as well, and that is going to be significant, guys. I will talk about it here in a moment. But also, we take a look at some of the guys that are expected to be back, and we definitely need them back. Dante Jackson will be back. Who else was on that list? Larry Ogunjobi will be back. George Pickens will be back. And also Justin Fields is questionable. And again, I'm not sure how much of a Justin Fields that we would use against a Kansas City team. But again, I like having the option of using Justin Fields in short yard situations where we're not so predictable. Did not have that against the Ravens, so there was no threat to pose to the Ravens in terms of the running quarterback. So again, some of you guys may not feel a way about Justin Fields or whatever, but again, just remember what he did for the Steelers to start the season. Excuse me. But more importantly, what he was able to do in some of these games, icing some of the games, putting the games away, or even just coming in to pick up a third and short a second and short, fourth and short, what have you, and you lose that element. Now let's take a look at this Kansas City side. Let's see what's going on with them, who's in and who's out. Game time decision is saying cornerback, or it just says DB. Chamari Connor is out. Tackle DJ Humphries is out. Okay, I think he's one of their starting tackles, so that could be served well for us in terms of pass rush. Also, wow, Chris Jones, defensive lineman Chris Jones. Most of you guys should know who that is. Number 95. That guy's a beast, beast, beast. Lotto stud, as my brother Tony would call him. He is questionable. So questionable doesn't mean he's not going to play. It'll be a game time decision, I'm sure. But again, if he's dealing with a calf injury, he is a D lineman. He is a pass rusher. Maybe he won't be 100%. And that is only good for the Pittsburgh Steelers because Chris Jones is a game wrecker. There's always something he does in the game, very similar to how I feel about Cam Haywood. You know, these guys make plays pretty much every game, even if you don't, if you don't acknowledge it because it's not a sack. These guys make some type of impact every single game. Chris Jones is one of those guys, so I am not going to be upset if he is unable to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers tomorrow. Also, Jawan Taylor, tackle Jawan Taylor is also questionable. So it remains to be seen, guys. We'll see whether or not, he plays. But again, the key guys that I'm looking at, DJ Humphries being out and Chris Jones being questionable, those are the guys that I'm looking at. I know some of you guys, when we spoke a week ago, some of you were saying, oh, Mahomes is not going to play or he might not play. And then when you saw Mahomes play on Sunday, that notion kind of went out the window. So there you have it. Kenyon is saying Connor has been a steal for the Chiefs this year. Okay. So he's a guy who obviously has been playing on their defense. So it sounds like with him being out, that's going to affect some of what they like to do on the defensive side of the ball. So there you have it. Outside of that, guys, listen, I'll just give a quick recap again, man, of the game. Blog Talk Radio is working tonight, guys. So if you guys want to call in, I know it's Christmas Eve. We're not going to be here too long. If you want to call in, we'll put that number on the screen here in just a moment and allow you guys to call in. Some of you are already in the queue. I see we have somebody in the queue. Well, let me just say it. Let me just put the thing up there, man. Here we go. Let me put the little thing up there so you guys can see because the phones should be working tonight. 619-924-0818. 619-924-0818. Again, man, quick recap of the game. It really just came down to the Steelers' inability to stop the run and the Steelers missing opportunities and turning over the ball in costly situations. Missed opportunities again. The Ravens put the ball on the ground a few times, and two of those times it was within a minute. Steelers unable to come up with it. Could not recover it. Those are missed opportunities. Russell Wilson fumbling, at about the 2 or 3 yard line. Unfortunate. And that's a missed opportunity as well as a turnover because the missed opportunity is the Pittsburgh Steelers is probably going to score right there. I say probably because we were moving the ball. Now, granted, it's not a given because the Ravens, are a nice defense. They usually protect the red zone or the end zone, rather. But the way we were moving the ball in that scenario, I felt like the Steelers score there. If we score right there, it's 14-7. Who knows how the game unfolds from there? I'm not going to say what some of you in Steeler Nation would say is, oh, man, if we score right there, we're going to win. That's not guaranteed, man. That's still early in the game. But what it does do is it maybe changes the philosophy or two on the following drive by the Ravens. Maybe it forces them to do something that they don't want to do. Maybe they come out and pass first on the next series as opposed to sticking with the run. But again, only a 7-point game. Early on in the game, they might have still continued to stick with the run, and we may have still, right, not been able to stop Derrick Henry and such, and the outcome could have been the same. But that was clearly a momentum shift. If the Steelers go up 14-7 right there, morale is great amongst the team. The offense is feeling good. The defense is feeling good. They want to go out, get the ball back, or they want to go out and limit the Ravens from scoring because now we on the road and we up Let's keep that momentum going. So losing the ball right there killed us. Also, the pick six by Russell Wilson. Bad play. It just simply was a bad play. And actually, guys, I'm going to do something really quick in real time. If y'all bear with me for 2 seconds, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I saw in the R22, a common theme that I saw that I'm not really happy about, but I want to check something right here as well. I meant to do this earlier, but didn't get a chance to do it, or didn't pay as close attention to it as I wanted to. But hold on, guys. Give me a second. I'm going to go really quick. I'm going to look at that play when we threw the interception, and I'm going to see if my theory holds true. Because there's something that I'm going to talk to you guys about in terms of the R22 and Arthur Smith's philosophy or, route combination and such when he is out of play action. I want to go look at this play and see if it holds true, because I watched a decent amount of the 22. I didn't watch the full thing yet, and I meant to get to that play. But hold on, guys. Give me a second. It's not going to take long for me to get there. Hold on. Where is it? Here. Okay, here it is right here. Give me a second, guys. It's going to take me 2 seconds, literally. It's not going to take me long to see what I think I'm about to see here. It's playing right now. And apologize that I can't show it to you guys because, copyright and all of that. Yeah. It's the exact. Matter of fact, guys, if y'all bear with me for a second, let me see if I could do something really quick. I'm going to show you a screenshot. I can't show the play, but I'm going to try to show you. I ain't going to be able to do it. I'm going to just explain it to you when I get here. I'm going to keep this play up, and then I'm going to explain it to you when I start talking about it. But it's a common denominator that I'm seeing with this guy's play action. So let me give you a couple of recaps that I saw, and this was just early. A couple of things that I notated. KZ, I want to give KZ credit. KZ had some real big tackles in the first quarter, early part of that game, and he potentially saved, at least on 2 of them, he saved touchdowns. KZ was out there playing the role of Deshaun Elliott the best he could in terms of, again, keeping the lid on it. A lot of times we had Minka playing closer to the line of scrimmage, which I understand that, but KZ had to literally be the last line of defense, and he did it. Made a couple tackles on Derrick Henry, where I believe, looking at the perspective that I saw it from, Derrick Henry is going to score with his speed, and KZ saved the day. So I want to give KZ a round of applause, man. What's up, Mark? I appreciate you, brother. What's going on? Got to give KZ that round of applause because, guys, you remember last year there was a point in a moment when I took KZ's name away from him. He showed up in this game, man, and he saved a couple touchdowns. But go back and watch the first quarter, first half. KZ, that guy did some work for us, man, early, just in terms of tackling and playing aggressive and putting his face in the fan, as they would say. So I wanted to notate that. Also, that play, the touchdown to Isaiah Likely, I think I talked about this after the game, but guys, it was just bad communication on that play, man. I watched that play on the R22, and Minka had to take the flat because there was a guy, I believe it was who Lamar faked the ball to that was in the flat. So Minka he couldn't play both sides. It almost looked like we were playing some type of, it looked like man, right? I'm going to have to watch it again. Backside corner didn't have nobody to cover, and it was Sutton. And the way they were playing it looked like man, and then you see Patrick Queen kind of fighting through the trash because they had trips on that side. He was trying to fight through Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers held him up a little bit, and you could see that he was running towards Likely, but couldn't get there. In real time, when we watched the game and when they replayed the game, and I think even when Tom Brady illustrated it, it did look like exactly what Brady said. Minka was caught between the flats and then also kind of the intermediate quarter flat type of area. However, when you look at the play, and I looked at it like 7 times, you see Patrick Queen trying to get out there. So it almost looked like it was a man situation, or Patrick Queen was trying to run over there to get to his zone area, like that little curl area. But either way, that's why they scored, because they had trips over there, and Isaiah Likely kind of ran a little loop, like a little wheel route. Nobody picked him up. The flats held Minka, and that's what happened. It was just bad communication, man, in terms of who was guarding who. It was bad. It was bad. And that's how, they scored that first touchdown. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, it was times in the game, man, that it just looked like the defense just had no awareness of what was happening. I mean, it was crazy. It was moments where they just, and I'm talking about on passes. I haven't even got to the run game yet. It just was times, man, that they just seemed to hit the right play or run the right route versus the coverage that we were playing. And it was just wide open, man. It was bad, bro. It was bad. But really, it was the run game that really, I have to say this, man. Again, I always try to go through the R22 several times to really, things pop up when you look at it for a second time. And when I say several times, a lot of times I'll rewatch a play 3 or 4 times. A lot of them runs, the Ravens just blocked it up very, very well, or they were able to catch us in not just formation, but they were able to catch us in situations where we were spread wide. Like it was times where our front 4 had like a wide stance, right? And then the backers were even wide. So it just played right into what the Ravens were doing on certain plays where they was bringing guys around and pulling. And I mean, it was times that Derrick Henry got up to the linebacker second level with nobody touching him. It was so wide open. And once Henry hits it, he's out of there. It was so clean, man. I don't know how else to explain it other than you guys seeing it for yourself. And, I'm definitely going to try to get that footage out to you guys, man. I know it's kind of a time crunch tonight. And I may or may not get to it today before tomorrow's game, but I definitely want to go back for you guys who are channel members, man, and let you see some of this footage from the Ravens game. It was just bad, bro. It was just bad. And they just beat us up in the run game. And that's really how we lost the game. Again, you definitely want to add the fumbles in there because, listen, the Steelers' offense fought back. They fought back. We were able to tie the game up. Minka Fitzpatrick, shout outs to Minka, man, getting a turnover, but then Russ giving the ball right back. And let's talk about that. So the play that I just looked at to make sure my theory is correct. Here's a big problem in our offense. When we run play action, especially in this Ravens game, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 90% of the time, all of the routes are deep routes. Every single one of them. Very limited routes. Let me explain to you what I mean. So I'm going to look at this play right now and tell y'all what's happening, right? We come out again, single back, and we have 1, 2, we're in 12 personnel, right? Najee is lined up about 8 yards off the ball. Russell Wilson fakes, rolls to his right. You have Van Jefferson streaking all the way down the field, just a straight go route, right? Actually, I'm sorry. It ends up being a post. You have Calvin Austin, who's coming from left to right. Calvin Austin is kind of that, reduced split. And he comes from left to right. He kind of runs like, let me see what this is. It's like like a little over route, right? He goes right at the linebacker, kind of gets to the safety level, then he bends it in, right? You have, and this looks like a flood concept. Yep, because Darnell Washington runs pretty much the same thing. But I'm going to explain to you guys how deep these routes are. Calvin Austin is on the 35. The ball is on the 36, but he's standing on the 35-yard line. All right? He's going to make his first cut at the 50. His first cut is at the 50. And he's running at not the 50. My bad. The 45. His first cut starts at the 45, and then he's making his round at about the 48. All right? So how many yards is that? That's 13 yards, right? That is considered, more of a deep route in terms of coverage, right? So if you were playing coverage, that's not considered a under route or short or anything like that. That's a deeper route plus 10 yards, right? More of a vertical. Even though he's not running vertical, a defense would recognize that more as a vertical route because he's beyond 10 yards. The next person, Van Jefferson, also lined up on the 35. He makes his first cut at the 46. The other 46. Not on the same side. Again, we're at the 35-yard line. So it's 35, 40, 45, 50, 45 again. Van Jefferson's first cut corner route is at the opposite 46, beyond the 50. How many yards is that? Okay. Then you have, let's see who else this is. You have Darnell Washington, who's lined up he's right behind the 35, about the 34, because he's off the line. He's going to make his first cut at the 45 as well. And in this picture, it almost looks like a triangle, right? It is Darnell Washington on the 45, Calvin Austin at about the 47, and then ahead of them, like down here, is Van Jefferson at about the 49 going into his corner route. You then have Pruitt, who does a little, block and release. And he makes his first cut at about the 38. Russell Wilson throws the ball to him. And y'all know the rest, right? Y'all know the rest. And actually, hold on, y'all. I am going to show y'all this really quick. I just can't show you the footage. I just want you to see. Let me see if I can get this. Hold on. Give me a second. I just want y'all to see where everybody is and show you how it's not open. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. I'm taking a risk here. The NFL might try to get me, guys, and then they take my little monies. Well, hold on. Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Let me see if I can get this. Y'all just gotta see it, right? Y'all just gotta see it. Hold on. Let me see if it's gonna show it to you the right way. Hold on. I gotta trim it a little bit. So y'all gonna see me work here in real time. Watch this. Hold on. Oops. But y'all got to see this, man, because you're not gonna believe it. All right, give me a second. Bear with me, man. I appreciate y'all hanging in there with your boy. Almost done. Hold on. Now, y'all let me know. Y'all can see this, right? Can you guys see this? Somebody give me a virtual. Let me know that y'all can see it. I'm going to wait till the first person says yes, and then I'm going to just kind of illustrate what I was talking about. But I can't show the play because, again, the NFL, okay, y'all can see me. The NFL will try to get me. But this is what I want y'all to see. Look, Pruitt, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, Darnell Washington. Again, the ball was on the 35. Do y'all see this? And look at how close they are, and look at how it's bracketed. Nobody's open. There's nobody open. Even if you throw this ball to Pruitt, it ain't going nowhere. You see? It's dead in the water. So I need Russell Wilson to throw this ball away. I guess what he was trying to do was, give it to him here. Maybe he could break a tackle. But again, the problem with this offense, guys, it might not be everyone, but it's a lot of them. And Stillberg, I'm coming right to you. Let me take this off the screen, man, for the NFL get me. But you guys have seen what I'm talking about. Almost every single play action, it's all deep routes. Or sometimes we might cross them. We might do like a little, some crosses on the play action. But most of the time, it's vertical routes or deeper routes downfield. So it only works when dudes are open, right? So when we bust the defense or bust the coverage with play action is the only time it works. We don't have a lot of built-in routes where it creates spacing or creates open opportunities. It's either, we got him to bite on the play action or nothing. And that's the common theme that I'm seeing. Every single one of them play actions got a super deep vertical. But again, that's Arthur Smith. That's his philosophy. 50-50 ball, take shots down the field. But it's frustrating because when we do that, it's easy. Did y'all see that blanket coverage? It makes it easy for the defense, especially when they identify 12 personnel, 13. All right. We know pretty much what type of routes are coming from this when it's two tight ends out there. That's the problem. Round of applause to Stillberg, man. I appreciate that. Christmas Wonderbread. Thank you so much. He says this team's success is going to be on the offense. They're going to have to put up points consistently, can't rely on the D and the new era of play. And it's unfortunate that we got to say that, man, because the funny thing is, and we all know about, and I definitely partly agree with your statement, but the funny thing about this defense here lately and the offense, right? So I'm going to talk about the defense. At one time, we could rely on them, but really the only time we can rely on them is if they turn over the ball, force a fumble, interception, or get sacks and get teams behind the chains. We really haven't seen the defense just play fundamental football and able to get guys off the field. If you understand what I'm saying, we haven't seen that consistent enough. A lot of our stuff is coming from turnovers. And you can't rely on that. You got to be able to have a defense that can just play sound defense like Kansas City can and get off the field more times than not. Now, you're not always going to get off the field. Teams are going to score on you. Teams are going to move the ball. But we got to be able to be a defense that can bold up, and stand firm and get off the field at times without a sack or without an interception or a forced fumble, because you can't rely on that stuff. That bend but don't break don't work, bro. It just don't. It does not work consistently, and that's a real problem. But like I said, man, just showing y'all that quick picture. Most of the play action plays look just like that. And it makes it so easy for teams to defend us when Arthur Smith refuses to utilize 11 personnel more. When we have gone in 11 personnel, we have moved the ball much better. When we go 11 and then we come back and run the ball, it has worked. It's not going to work every time, but it's given us a better chance. It's more of a threat when you have 3 receivers out there and then we're running different route combinations. I just don't understand why he won't do it more. I understand you having a philosophy and you want to run the ball, pound the rock, but dog, you can't just keep staying in these same packages or at least same formations, sometimes different personnel. You can't keep doing that at this point of the season because teams know what you're trying to do. It makes it too easy to defend. And especially when these routes, everything is deep. So you come out of the play action, Russ hands it off, boots out, and ain't nothing there. Man. Yeah, man. It's going to be a tough road, guys, in this game as well as the playoffs. And I don't know. But one thing I'm not going to do, though, I said this on Sunday, and I still believe this. Arthur Smith has enough tools in his tool bag. He just has to utilize the tools. Because I'm not going to have a blind eye and act like we haven't put up more than 30 points a few times this season. We've done it. But we can't be an offense that's everything is just good when everything works as planned. No, we're going to have to be able to throw different plans out there during the game. Okay, first series or 2. All right, they on that. All right, let's come with this. We can't just stick to the script. And that's what he does entirely too much, man. He just plays it to the hand of these teams, man. I mean, it's, again, you look at the Ravens, right? The Ravens is a good football team. Y'all, I don't care what some of y'all want to say, Ratbirds, whatever y'all want to call them. They're a good football team. Stop fronting. You cannot be like, it's weird to me when sometimes it's still a nation that we are so biased that, man, ain't no way we should have lost that game. Man, ain't no way. Man, we had this on the line. Man, we could have clinched the division. Man, how we going to go to Baltimore and lose to the Ravens? Huh? I don't care what the recent streak has been. Nobody should ever question how a Pittsburgh Steelers team can go to Baltimore and lose to the Ravens. Like I said, we get too blinded by recency bias. It's still the Ravens. It's still us going to Baltimore. So why is it so unbelievable to believe that they went to Baltimore and lost? But look at what happened in both of these games. Steelers scored 18 points was the high. 18. And guess what? When we scored 18, we didn't even score a touchdown. We turn around and get a touchdown so in this game, and we only score 17 points. That's not going to do it, bro. That's not going to do it against the good football teams. We can't do that. If this team cannot, I'm going to almost say in the playoffs, 24 points might be the mark. You know, I usually say between 21 and 22, so let's say between 21 and 24, but I think 24 points might have to be the mark. The offense is going to have to step up because, again, I think our defense is good enough to keep us around, even if they give up some points. But the Steelers cannot score less than 20 points. I don't think it's going to happen, guys, in the rest of these games. Kansas City, Cincinnati, and whoever we play in the playoffs, it ain't going to be enough. Let's not forget Cincinnati put up 38. You see what I'm saying? We had to score 44 points to win that game. Don't feel good about it. So let me say my last little thing here. You see who I have in the thumbnail. I think Deshaun Elliott is going to help us greatly being back. We're going to need him. And guys, we might have to lean on his shoulders, bro. The reason why I say Deshaun Elliott, because again, unless you guys have been under a rock, that dude has done a lot for us. A lot for us in his role. You know what I thought about earlier today? Let me see if y'all agree. Everybody been getting on Minka for not having splash plays. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, he ain't getting no splash. Da, 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 da. Not realizing what he's probably doing that you don't know he's doing. Helping to keep a lid on things. Man, I showed Kenyon and Tony a play from the R22 family members. You'll see it. The defense that the coverage was so good that he played against Andrews. That play, y'all might remember. I think it was in the first half. And Lamar Jackson, Andrews ran kind of like a corner. And he threw it. And we got him off the field. He threw it and it was incomplete, like to the left. The coverage that Minka played on that play was so beautiful. But let me get to this point. Do you guys think Minka's interception had something to do with how we might have utilized him without Deshaun Elliott on the field? I'm going to do something from the old school real quick, and maybe some of y'all will remember this. Things that make you say, Have y'all ever thought about that? I have no way of confirming. I'm just saying, Did Minka get a splash play all of a sudden because we were utilizing him different against the Ravens Sunday without Deshaun Elliott? Was he perhaps put in a position where he's able to get the pick? He's not in the post so much. I don't know. I'm just saying. I say that to say, guys, we never know what's going on. Minka Fitzpatrick has not been just a guy. He's been doing his job. So, yeah. Walter said it was a bad read by Jackson. But listen, he was there to make the play. He was there to make the play. So, and that's one thing that I'm not going to do. Whether it was a bad read or not, he was there to make the play. He was in that spot where the bad read was thrown. I'm still going to give him his credit. But like I said, if I remember correctly, I haven't watched that play yet. I think Minka was playing closer to the line. I don't think he was in the post on that play. So him being underneath allowed him to get that pick along with Jackson, maybe shouldn't have made that particular throw. But you got to credit the player for making the play. But, that's all. Again, I'm not here to have people like Minka or hate Minka. I'm just giving you my observation. I think Minka Fitzpatrick has been doing what the Steelers have needed him to do. That's it. That's it. And it's too many people that have downplayed him just because he's not making picks. Like, it's more to it, people. More to it. One last thing before I get to the phone calls. I'm reluctant to do it, but I didn't do it last week either. Because I didn't even add the button back. But I will do it manually, guys. It is time for a very short big hat moment. And like I said, I didn't add the button back. You guys know I had that issue when my software crashed and I had to add everything back one by one. I haven't added the big hat moment back yet. And I might even re-record it. But we're still going to do it. Very short. Because it's not a whole lot to be happy about. It's more like, and I'm looking at it right over there, it's more like the tiny hat disappointment as opposed to the big hat moment. But we're going to give them credit. We're going to give them a couple pieces of credit here, a couple guys. First and foremost, first person who will get the big hat moment for this game on Sunday is Calvin Austin. Round of applause. I'm only giving him that, man, because I noted early in that game, Calvin Austin was out there making plays, man. I'm proud of that guy. He's finally becoming somebody that we look at and say, okay, he can make plays. Now, though some of you guys might not even remember how significant his plays were because we lost the game, but Calvin Austin was making some big-time plays in that game. One of those catches along the sideline, outstanding. Outstanding. I mean, he was out there playing bigger than he is. Of course, he wasn't going to out-jump Kyle Hamilton on that deep shot, but you got to give Calvin Austin his credit, man. Calvin Austin is playing some good football for us. Good to see that. Good to see that. Absolutely. Absolutely good to see that, man, because we need that type of contribution from another receiver. You know, making a name for himself, making a case, you know, maybe going into next season that he could be more of a factor. So shout outs to Calvin Austin. Sir, I give you a tip of the big hat. And actually, Calvin Austin, I don't think you're done. I think we'll see more from you for the remainder of this season. A tip of the big hat. Next up, it goes to show you guys that 1 week I might not be interested in you, and the very next week you can do something to earn the big hat moment. And the next one is Cordero Patterson. Round of applause. Round of applause to Cordero Patterson, man, for that concentration catch on that touchdown. Got to give him credit. Got to give him credit. He came down with it. Stayed with it. Got to give him credit. And that's all. That's all I got. But what concentration, being able to keep that ball with every body part possible and maintain possession for that touchdown. Got to give him credit. That was absolutely a big hat moment, a tremendous touchdown at that moment. If I'm not mistaken, that was the one that tied the game, right? I think that was the 17-17. And at that moment, I'm like, okay, we back. We back. So, got to give him credit for that, man. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I see a couple of you guys talking about another guy, and I'm just going to give him a very quick honorable mention. Just a very quick round of applause. Very quick honorable mention to Jaylen Warren, man. Jaylen Warren was running hard out there, played hard, especially on that. Remember that dump down where they dumped it all to him, and he just took off near the midfield, and he just lowered his shoulder, boom. Love the way that dude plays. So it wasn't that, I can't necessarily say there was a extreme big hat moment in that game, but I'm going to give Jaylen Warren a tip of the big hat just for the way he plays. And I'm going to say this. Some of you guys have said this, and I've said it in reverse. And then my big brother, cousin Floyd, texted me this earlier. And I think I might have to agree with you guys now. And here's the funny thing. Some of y'all are going to argue me down because, see, when I said that, see, you was against it. Dog, there is no right and wrong here. Sometimes it takes people longer to see something or be like, let me wait. So just because I agree with something now, that doesn't mean it's time for you to come in. See, what does that mean? Who cares? So if you one of them, I'm just going to say that to you with no disrespect, but that's how you take it. Who cares? Who cares? What do you get because you felt this way about something and now everybody else is starting to feel the same way? So what? I'm all about the team. I'm not against any of you guys in the chat, but y'all be so quick to do that. See, no, I said that 6 years ago. And that, so what? But here's the point. My point still remains intact when I say we need both. I like both Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris. I was more in favor of Najee starting the game and Jaylen Warren being more of the change of pace back. But I do think I'm starting to come around to what some of you guys were saying, especially what Floyd was saying earlier. But let me also say this. I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. Some of y'all don't even know why y'all saying it. Y'all just saying it. Because some of y'all are the same ones that, man, cut Najee. We just going to play with Warren. So even some of y'all was, like they say, a broke clock is right twice a day. Some of y'all was just saying it but didn't know the details behind it. So I'm going to try to give you some details that me and Floyd talked about, and I've talked about it with Kenyon and others. I'm starting to get on that train too, man, and this is the reason why. See, I liked us warming it up with Najee, and then you bring in the lightning, if you will, change your pace with Warren. But the way this offense is operating, we should switch it around because Jaylen Warren is more productive, right? I like Najee. I like when Najee gets going, but Jaylen Warren is able to get things going faster, even sometimes when nothing is there. Jaylen Warren makes a quicker decision. He's a one cut north and south, get there type of guy. He's not going to do a lot of dancing. He is decisive. He makes his decision and he go. And because of that, he doesn't lose yards a lot. Here's another reason why I think maybe you bring Warren in more. Because Arthur Smith is in love with the toss. I'm in love with the toss play. That's how he acts. He loves it. And if you're going to run it as much as he is, I would rather Jaylen Warren have the ball. Because Jaylen Warren, again, makes the decision quicker. There were some plays I saw in the R22. Oh, man. Early in the game, it was when we was backed up against the end zone. There was a play that we ran. It might have been the first play of the game, now that I think about it. And we had Pruitt come across the formation. Najee still got 6 yards, but dog, Pruitt was one-on-one. He was heading towards Marlon Humphrey. And for whatever reason, Najee stayed in the middle. If he would have went to the right, I mean, you see it clear as day. I showed it to Kenyon and Tony. I sent them the clip. Dog, that might have been a 20-plus yard play. So sometimes Najee's vision is slower to the punch. Jaylen Warren has, in my opinion, it looks like his vision is much better and he's more decisive. So again, because the Steelers are a slow starting offense, maybe Jaylen Warren should be the starter because he's not going to lose as many yards. He's going to gain more yards, I believe, than Najee just off of the sheer fact that his run style is different. So I think I'm starting to agree with you guys. But I was always on I was always campaigning to have both of them. I was never on that campaign of get rid of him and keep him and get rid of him and keep him. No. Y'all know I stuck in that. I said, no, we need both of them. But I felt more like let Jaylen be the change of pace guy. But now, y'all might be right, man. I'm starting to see it differently because of the way this offense is operating. So I don't think the Steelers are going to see it that way. But yeah, we're a bit more productive offensively running the football with Jaylen Warren. And again, that's not a shot to Najee. It's just different styles. That's all. So, let Najee wear him down in the second half. But yeah, that's what I got there, man. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that. And one more tip of the big hat. Round of applause to Minka Fitzpatrick. Just wanted to give Minka some quick praise, man, for having an interception. I know some people are saying it was a bad read by Lamar. May have been, but Minka needed to get that monkey off his back because we have still a nation have been on him about no splash. So it was good to see Minka come to life one more time. So that's why I'm giving Minka a quick tip of the big hat. And like I said, guys, I don't have the visual. I will be adding it back soon. We're just doing the big hat moment manually now. So with that concludes the big hat moment. Then back to Sima Claus. Sima Claus. What Sima Claus got for y'all? Oh, somebody out there playing Santa Claus. Brother man, appreciate that Wonderbread. What you got for us? Yes. The answer is yes. Looks like Deshaun Elliott and Pickens will both be playing, so that is huge. That is huge, huge, huge. But all right, guys, let's see if we got any phone calls in the queue, man. We'll take a few calls and we'll get out of here. Looks like we have one in the queue. We have 3 in the queue, actually. Let's get to it. Let me turn this up here so I can hear. Don't keep it too long, guys. Y'all know, quick, in and out, in and out. First up is area code 916. What you got for us?
Yo. How you doing today, bro?
Good. What's going on, man?
I actually just had a quick parlay that I wanted to go over. I'm knee deep in my fandom right now. I just wanted to go over it. Just let me know if it's a bad one.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, bet. So I got Pittsburgh Steelers for the money line. I got GP to score a touchdown. I got GP over 65 yards. I got GP over 4.5 receptions. And then I got Najee Harris to score a touchdown.
What was the first one? The very first one.
Very first one was Steelers money line.
Ugh.
And then GP to score a touchdown. I'm thinking since he's back, he might go off. You know.
All right, that's a good point, and I will answer it here for you. Thanks for the call, man. So stay on so you can hear the response really quick. And look in the chat, because I'm gonna throw that to the chat. What do y'all think? Because I know a lot of people here play FanDuel and all that. I don't really do it so much, but I'm gonna say I don't think that's too bad, man. What you have there. I mean, obviously, let's be honest. Some of it might be fandom. We want our Steelers to win, so we gonna bet the money line on all that. But I don't think it's all bad. I think it's very possible what you just said there, that because George Pickens is back, they're gonna try to find a way, right, to get him a touchdown. Also, it's definitely believable that he might get 65 yards because all we try to do is air it out to him anyway. He might pick up 40 of them on one catch, and it's very possible that he has 4 catches. So I don't think it's bad at all. You guys in the chat, can y'all help him out? Based on what he said there, do you agree or disagree or give him some advice? But again, me just observing on the sideline, I don't think it's all bad. The only thing that could go against you is the money line part, perhaps. But I don't think it's all bad. So, and first of all, I definitely appreciate your call, man. I don't know if I've had you here before. The 916 doesn't look familiar. So if you're a first timer, thank you so very much, man. I appreciate you tuning in and thanks for the call. Let me grab a couple of these donations here, man. Wonderbread from Y Diggy as well as Brother Man. Appreciate y'all. Y Diggy says, they don't do anything off toss play. They can incorporate a bootleg play action off the toss sometimes. Russ has shown the mobility enough to pull it off. Do not disagree with that one bit. That's what it is, Y Diggy, man. Not only just the formations and the personnel, but even sometimes the plays, like the structure of the play is so scripted. And they don't have nothing off of it, right? It's either this or that. I will give Arthur Smith credit because I was screaming at the TV. Leonard sitting right beside me as my witness. When we threw the touchdown to Pruitt, I was like, please don't just line up and run the football. And for once, they did what most NFL teams do. They played the game of, they're going to think we're going to run. Let's go play action from the goal line on first down. And it worked. And it's crazy. Did y'all see that clip where George Pickens was doing like this before the play even started? Because even he knew it was a good play call. Arthur Smith, can you wake up and be a part of this century and do the things that most people do? Like most teams, it's hard to stop them from the goal line because of play action and such. And come on, man. But I agree with you, why I did get 100%, man. We got to get some more variety off of these structured, predictable plays if he's going to keep doing it. Brother Man says Jones is out tomorrow, so I think he hurt still. No, I don't know. Did they rule him out already? Did y'all see that? Because what I read earlier that they had him listed as, hold on, let me see if it updated. They had him listed as questionable. Yeah, they got him still as questionable, so maybe it's been updated somewhere. Hopefully that's the case. Oh, man, shout outs to my man, my guy right there, man. My man Dez. Round of applause, man, for the good Wonderbread. I appreciate you, brother. That's typical Dez right there, but I appreciate him. He says, this show and its host makes me proud. Merry Christmas, but then he gonna end it with Ravens, 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 Ravens. That's my guy right there, man. Again, very, very Baltimore to his core, that's where he's from. Ravens fan, but me and him, that's my man right there. It's nothing but love. There's no hate. We can talk like civilized. Me and him, when what, Des, we gotta chop it up again, man. We haven't talked on the phone in a while, so we definitely got to catch up. But we would have conversations about each team and who does what on the opposite team. And you know what, Des? I think one of these shows, man, in a Ravens week, it's gonna have to be next year now, unless we see each other in the playoffs. I've been thinking about doing this, by the way. I've been thinking about bringing on people from the opposing team and just have a conversation, and maybe that could be a separate show, like on a Wednesday or something. So I would definitely love to have you on, Des. I know you up for that. So yeah, let's chop it up. But again, you guys in the chat, y'all let me know if that's something y'all might want to see going forward. But anyway, we got some more Wonderbread phone calls. I'm about to come back to y'all. Let me grab the Wonderbread. Brother man again. And my man, Antoine Hill, appreciate y'all. He says, who the refs gonna favor? I don't know, man. I think the refs have just been bad this entire season for almost every game I've watched, not including just Pittsburgh. I'm talking about every other game. They just been bad, man. I don't think they just have it out for us, as some people would think. They have just been bad, plain bad. And my man Antoine Hill says, what's up, Sim? I'm just shouting you out. Appreciate you, brother. You already know what it is. Appreciate you. Tomorrow we got both squads playing, huh? Got the Steelers and the Sixers. And which one of them will get a win? That's the question. Back to the chat, man. Back to the phone queue. Who we got? We got next up, area code 973. What you got for us?
What's going on, Sam?
Nothing much, man. What's going on?
Happy holidays to you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Same to you.
Well, I call because I believe, my opinion, I believe Pittsburgh Steelers can play with anybody in the AFC. I mean, the two games that we played without George Pickens, we was right in there. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Najee fumble, Baltimore games, the interception. We was right there. Just a couple plays here and there that this didn't go our way, but we was right there. And I don't understand my man Mike Tomlin. I think it was in the Raven game, 4th and 6. You go to a bomb for Calvin Austin on the midfield instead of try to go for the first down. But yeah, I don't fear no one. If we get healthy, I think we could beat anybody any given Sunday. It's been proven. We was down on a lot of our players, and we really was in the game. A couple of plays here. How many fumbles we didn't get, Sam? Think about it. We'd have had Lamar head frustrated, but we couldn't get no fumbles. Nothing went our way. But, hey, that's the way ball bounces. But I don't fear no one. I think we could beat anybody on any given Sunday. You have a happy holiday, brother.
Man, thanks for the call, and happy holidays to you as well. You know what's funny, and some of y'all are not going to believe this. I halfway agree with you, 973. Yeah. And let me explain to y'all why, even though I'm going to contradict myself maybe about 10 minutes from now. But that's why what I said about Kansas City previously, when I was like, dog, I think we could beat them. I was feeling the same way 973 was. I do think the Steelers can probably play with most of these teams if the offense clicks. But that's a big if. Like they say, if was a spliff, or if was a fifth, we all be high or drunk. But I think when our offense is producing, it ain't even got it don't really necessarily have to do with just scoring. If our offense is producing like sustained drives and possessing the ball, right? even if you don't score, if you're able to put up these drives, eventually it's going to turn into a score. It's going to turn into a field goal. If we can do that consistently, I do think our defense can hold us around. They're going to surrender some points, but I do think we could probably play with most of these teams in the AFC. The Bills is a team that does scare me, though, because we have trouble with quarterbacks like that. The threat of the run, and Josh Allen will hang in there to the last minute. Josh Allen will, when he rolls to his right and he just throws it at the last, he makes these insane throws. We have troubles with guys like that. Lamar is the same way. Lamar, the longer Lamar holds the ball, you could be in trouble. But if our offense can produce and get points at some point, 21 points doesn't sound like a lot, but 21 points means that we have sustained and had a very decent drive at least 3 times. At least 3 possessions were a lengthy drive in most cases, unless you just hit them with a bomb. But in most cases, it was a lengthy drive that possessed the football, took time off the clock, lessening the amount of possession the other team can get. You see what I'm saying? 973 might have a point. Only other thing I wanted to say really quick, guys, let me just ask a question. Why do we, and I'm not blaming 973, I think a lot of people do this. Why do we put everything on top? Like, why do we automatically say it's Mike Tomlin's fault that we took a deep shot? Like, how much do we believe? Do y'all think Mike Tomlin calls the offensive plays? I think there's times where he says, hey, let's go sneak here, or I don't know if he's making the call on 4th and 6. It's in terms of the play call, right? Even though, remember on Hard Knocks when Mike Hilton said, yeah, a lot of times Tomlin likes to take the shot, if he has the matchup. But even with that, I just don't think the play call, right? The actual design of the play, that's not on Mike Tomlin. Like we don't give the coordinators enough credit or blame. We definitely don't give them enough blame. We always point to the head coach. I'm just curious about that. But anyway, man, let's again, we have some more Wonderbread, and I'm going to get the last 2 calls. Thank you again, brother, man. I mean, you putting a lot in that Christmas stocking tonight, man. I appreciate you. Round of applause. He says, last couple of games, the Steelers defense has been absent in the 4th quarter. Got to change and get back on track. Can't disagree with that, my brother. Cannot disagree with that. Can't. You are correct. Next up on the queue, man, we have area code 202. Looks like out of DC. What you got for us?
Yes, how are you? I'm out of L.A., but I used to live in the D.C. area, also in Richmond, Virginia. Merry Christmas to you. This is Jay from L.A. Want to say that it's been a while since I've been on this call, and the games that I witnessed in the loss, including the Cleveland game, were very disgusting. Our offense has never seemed to get the fact that they need to cut down on mistakes. Well, in Week 17, we should not be doing the same mistakes when Justin Field was under the center. And we see that now. So this last game, Baltimore, of all teams, it could be any other team except Baltimore. But we made a lot of mistakes, and we don't recover from our mistakes. That's one of the reasons why we always fall suspect, because we're not a recovery team. Now we're getting ready to play a team. They can make 1,000 mistakes and still win. Now, there's a New England of yesterday, because the referee in the Cheatville and Brady the Sadie, they'll do the same thing and get the same calls from probably the same referees. And that's detrimental to us. So we got to cut down on mistakes. But the actual win and beat Kansas City, we can't have no mistakes at all. Let's face it. Betting is illegal, and the referees are favoring Kansas City. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. That's one thing. The other thing, when I watched the R22, the only thing that would be better for the Steelers, they play in Canada, because the the field's wider. That pitch play is never going to do anything. I don't care if Warren is the runner. It doesn't do anything. Now, Arthur Smith don't get it. He's stubborn. So don't expect it to change anytime. But tomorrow, you got to be mistake-free. And that's the only way you're going to win. That's all I have for you, bro.
Man, I appreciate the call, my brother. And I think I heard you say you're originally from Richmond, Virginia, so you already know. You already know you family, brother. And you said you're out in L.A., you used to live in D.C., so that all makes sense. You know, Richmond, D.C., 202 number. Shout outs to you, my brother. I appreciate you either way. But I think I heard you say you was from the Cap City, so you already know what time it is. That's home base right there. You are absolutely correct, man. I'm going to hang on that one point you said. Arthur Smith is stubborn. Clearly. And it's funny because Matt Canada used to be stubborn. So, for some of you guys that feel like Tomlin is in control of it all, I don't know. I don't think so, but it definitely seems like maybe there is a philosophy that he prefers and he goes with those type of guys. It's possible. Clearly, he wants to run the football. I mean, that's what the Steelers are. Remember when he got hired? Steelers football. Run the ball, stop the run. Clearly, he wants to still play ground and pound. But I still got to point the finger at the coordinators for the plays they call and when they call them and how structured their play calling is. So even if the philosophy is, if the philosophy is that they're going to run the football and yada, 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 and, I can't solely blame Mike Tomlin. But yeah, it is interesting that those last couple coordinators kind of have the same philosophy. Like I said, I think Arthur Smith has more tools in his tool bag, but he doesn't seem to use them. He just wants to use that utility knife. Why are you using the utility knife and you have actual pliers over there? Or actual wire cutters? An actual wrench? A real screwdriver? Why are you trying to just use this little utility? Well, I appreciate your call, brother. 505. Thank you. Thank you for the Wonderbread. He says pull up 505. So I'm going to skip the line and go to 505. And then after that, 559. I'll be right back to you. 505, what you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sim? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I just want to share my thoughts. These last two losses to the Eagles and Ravens had me scared for the postseason. I'm going to be honest with you. This is very reminiscent to years past. For example, in the year 2020, we start off 11-0, and we fizzle out into the playoffs and we get killed in the wild card. I'm be honest. This game is going to determine whether I feel that way or not going into the postseason. There is no excuse tomorrow. I know that the Chiefs are 14-1. It don't matter that they're the back-to-back champions. We're the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're at home. And we play down to our competition, but now it's time to play up to it, which is a pro of the Tomlin regime, right? So I'm expecting a win. If not, I think we're cooked, Sim. Thanks for taking my call.
Man, absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for calling. And what I'm going to do, stick around 505. I'm going to take this one last call, and then I'm going to give my quick wrap up, and I'm going to talk about our chances. I want to respond to what you said, but I want to get this call first because that was going to be my lasting point anyway. So stick around. Hang with me for another 5-10 minutes. I'm going to respond to that. So give me just a moment. Last call of the night, man. Area code 559. What you got for us?
One last call, and then I'm going to give my quick wrap up.
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, brother?
All right. I've just been enjoying the Steelers season this year. And as far as I've been enjoying the growth of what we have for what our philosophy is, because we finally creating an identity. We ain't had an identity since the Killer Bees.
when we had the 11-0 season, we didn't even know how we won those games. We didn't even know how we was going to score. We haven't had an identity. Now we have an identity. So now with the play we got now, what's keeping us back is that O-line, that right side of that O-line. That right side of that O-line is killing us right now. When Daniels went down, McCormick, pass game, his pass blocking, terrible. JV ball. That's what's putting the pressure in so he can't hold the ball and go through his reads. Then you got the youngster. We got young Cubs over there on their right side. And that's how far it's going to take us. Pickens, we lost them games when Pickens was out. Okay, whatever. We know Pickens going to create double teams. Pickens going to do what he do. He's a dog. That's going to create your boy, the tight end and the slot guy, the Calvin. That's going to create them to get open one-on-ones over there. When Pickens was out, you already know how the matchups was. It was expected. Pickens back, double team over there. You got to, because he's going to dog that boy out over there in that corner. One-on-ones over here, we're going to do what we do. Najee, do what you do. Switch it up in the backfield. We back.
All right, man. I definitely appreciate your call, 559. I want to respond to something that you said there that I'm actually going to talk about here in a moment, too. George Pickens is going to make a big difference in this game because of primarily the defensive style that Kansas City likes to employ, right? Deploy. So there are going to be some one-on-ones that we need other people to win. Absolutely. And I do want to comment on what you said. Contrary to what some people here in the chat might disagree, but I do agree with 559. The Steelers actually do have an identity. They do. The problem is they don't always execute it well. That's it. Whether it's pressure or guys not getting open, or let's say, even in passing situations, some of the route combinations, but they have an identity. Arthur Smith definitely has an identity. It's the same one he had when he was leading the league with the Titans. They're going to run the football ground and pound. They're going to play action to you to death. They're going to take one-on-one shots and let their dog beat your dog. It's definitely an identity thing. I just need Arthur Smith to infuse more 11 personnel. It's cool to have an identity, but sometimes you got to throw some, throw a hat on. Throw some shades on. Don't just come in there just, fresh cut all the time and you got your nice gear on. What if you throw some shades on? Now, y'all know I'm always making the funny analogies. Now, Shorty and them that was looking at you, you guys got the shades on now. They like, oh, okay. Sometimes they like a little hat on. You throw the hat on, they're like, oh. You always can go back to your normal identity, which they love. But when they see you step out with the fitted or whatever you wear, you got your, you put some shades on. Now you took it to another level. And that's what I need Arthur Smith to do. Arthur Smith, have your identity, but throw some sprinkle in that thing. Come on, man. But I appreciate y'all calling, man. So let me get to my quick rounded up here because we had 1 minute and 14 seconds. It was kind of 2 shows in one. And I'm going to try to be brief here. Can the Pittsburgh Steelers win this game against Kansas City? Do I think that we will win the game against Kansas City? You guys know I have been saying for the last few weeks, I think we're going to beat the Chiefs. However, these last couple weeks have scared me a little bit because we haven't been able to sustain offense against defensive football teams, both the Philadelphia Eagles and the Ravens. Now, one could say that I didn't always expect us to win the Eagles or the Ravens game, but I wanted to see it be more of a offensive presence. The Kansas City Chiefs, folks, have a good defense. A very good defense. Very good defense. that might match up very well against Arthur Smith's offense. One thing that the Chiefs like to do a lot, they love to play man coverage. That might play into our hands with GP, especially if he's taking coverage over the top. You know, I've seen Kansas City, even saw it in the Houston game. They'll throw a cover 2 out there, cover 2 man in a New York minute. They're quick to do it, right? You have this safety play this guy, even if they go out there in a cover 1. They might have the safety cheat to pick inside, so somebody else got to win. One of the tight ends is going to have to win. Calvin Austin is going to have to win. Mike Williams. This is the game, guys, for real, we want to go mano a mano. This the game where you get Mike Williams out there more. Now, who knows why he's not playing? Everybody has these theories. Oh, I don't know what the Steelers are doing. What's Tomlin and them doing? Why they won't play him? It's a multitude of reasons, man. What if Mike Williams is very limited in his game in terms of routes and all that? But this is the time you put Mike Williams on the other side. This is the time where I'm coming out there with Austin in slot, Mike Williams over there at the Z, George at the X. Now pick one of them that you're going to rotate coverage to, because we're going to take our shots, because we got a quarterback that could throw that moon ball, and we got 2 dudes out here that could go get it. That's how you combat Kansas City. They ain't going to stay in man, but we know how Spags gets down. Love Spags, man. Spags been the truth. Y'all remember when, and I don't forget, y'all remember when people was killing him with Kansas City's defense is trash. Then all of a sudden over the years, they got better. Personnel might have had something to do with that. It's still the same philosophy. But now Spags got that defense playing, and one thing he gonna do, he's gonna bring pressure. You better believe it. He's going to blitz. He gonna bring pressure, and he gonna leave dudes in man. This is the game where you say, can your man stick with my guys? Are you ready to go jump ball with George Pickens and Mike Williams? This is the game, Arthur Smith, Mike T. This is the game to do that. Short week, game plan ain't even got to be that crazy. We know they blitz. We know they like to play man coverage. We going to put our best guys on the field. This is the 11 personnel game, Arthur Smith. I know you ain't going to do it, but just in case somebody passes this his way, I know I'm not an NFL head coach. No, I'm not. But I got a little bit of common sense, and I'm not trying to disrespect Arthur Smith. I'm just saying, Kansas City plays a certain type of defense most of the game. This is the game where I'm putting 11 out there, putting Freiermuth out there who can win on the inside. Let's let Bolton or Tranquil or one of them dudes guard him. Let's see who's who. We're going to need it. This ain't the game when you go 12-13. No, not all game. You're going to have to make them beat you. They're going to blitz. Russ is a vet. Russ will get the ball out, and on a lot of occasions, he's going to get it to the right guy. One thing Russ has been good at this year is reading the coverage. Don't know what he was doing on that interception to Pruitt, but y'all know what I'm saying. In previous games, he's been good with identifying early. Like when he took the quick shot to Skoranek. Russ makes his decision like that when he got time, and it's often to the right guy. So this is the game, Arthur Smith. See if they can stay with these 2 horses on the outside. Even if you just got Mike Williams just running go routes. Even if you got Mike Williams running go, post, and corner. That's it. Maybe throw a deep dig in there. Everything vertical. I don't care. Put pressure on them to stop it when George on the other side. Because this is a man coverage team, bro. This is when you do that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is the game where you do that. But do I think we can win? That was the question. I went off on a tirade, or a tangent, rather. Scared. Because I don't know what this offense can produce. I don't think Kansas City is explosive. However, they've gotten more explosive over the last few weeks. They have the potential to be explosive. But their receivers don't scare me right now. You know, you definitely got to keep an eye on Xavier Worthy. We got to stay over the top. Got to watch him in the jet sweep game and stuff like that. But I think they get Hollywood Brown back. You know, there's some more speed that they're going to utilize. And here's the thing, whether you trust him or not, Andy Reid is going to put us in conflict, bro. Kelsey, not getting the ball as much. And I don't, you know, is he as much of a matchup nightmare as he used to be? Sorta, you know, with Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. But I'm not really afraid of their receivers, you know. But they have the potential to be more explosive than I thought they were, say, 4 or 5 weeks ago. So I don't know. I think it comes down to, what is our offense going to do? They have to score. They're going to have to limit the possessions of the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes at the helm. It's the only chance we have. We're not going to be able to play catch up against them. And I ain't talking about 7-0. I'm talking about 14-7, 21-7, 14-0. That ain't going to work. Patrick Mahomes is a magician. We're going to have to keep up with them offensively first and limit Patrick Mahomes in that offense. But like I said, they're not a super explosive team. They're not. They haven't been this year, but yeah, guys. I don't know. I want to comment on what 505 said. He says no excuse. I disagree with that. There's no way you can say. Let me say this with all my heart. As much as I love this team and I want this team to do great, there's no way on earth that I can say that there's no excuse for the Steelers losing to Kansas City. That's 14-1. That is the division champs. That has Patrick Mahomes at the quarterback. That has Andy Reid calling plays. That has an outstanding defense that will just stand there and match up against our offense that has been inept at times. Or as we always say here in this chat, man, we need a number 2 receiver. We ain't got. If we saying all of that, there is no way that we can say there's no excuse. Huh? What if we just not as good a team? So I never want to put the blinders on and say that. No excuse. Now, I've been the one saying that I think we could beat Kansas City, but I also see ways that we lose to Kansas City very easily. Definitely can't say no excuse, brother. You just can't say that. Oh yeah, and by the way, like Kenya just said, no Joy Porter Jr., even though Joy Porter Jr. is grabby, but Joy Porter Jr. makes good plays too. So now we talking about Corey Trice and Dante Jackson and Cam Sutton and James Pierre maybe at times. Sean Elliott is back, but I'm just saying, guys, it ain't like we got the biggest dogs back there. You understand what I'm saying? We ain't got Antonio Brown to do the immaculate reception. Like that last Christmas game. Or Ben Roethlisberger on the comeback campaign on that last drive. Because let me tell y'all something. Do y'all remember that? I remember when homeboy, not Ricard, what's the other kid's name, man, that went and played for Juszczyk? Let me test how many of y'all remember that. Remember when Juszczyk scored and it was like 2 minutes or something or whatever it was in the game? I was like, I felt deflated. And we went down there and we got the win. And oh man, AB having the mindset to, and I know y'all say he crazy now, but he had the wherewithal to, what a beautiful thing on Christmas Day. I don't feel that way this year. I don't feel that way this year. Yeah, Kenya was y'all hot? Do y'all remember that? Was y'all hot when Juszczyk scored? I was sick. I was like, come on, man. But yeah, can we win? Sure. But it's going to take, again, this is obvious statement, Captain Obvious. The offense we gotta produce points, man. It just there's no other way. We have to reduce Kansas City's attempts, sustain drives, limit penalties, score points. I'm not asking for a 40-point game. I'm just saying we have to score about 24 points. We could get lucky and score 21-ish, but if we can score 24 or so points, those are sustained drives, a field goal in there, it's possible. But Arthur Smith, I know you're not watching. I know you're probably sitting around with family right now, but I'm going to just say this. Sir, that same script is not going to work. It has not worked against the Eagles, the Ravens, and here's a third team with a good defense. You want to be stubborn about something? Be stubborn about Pickens and Williams in man-to-man situations, and you want to take your shots, you're going to have the opportunity to do it. Force them to commit to one of those guys and leave the other one open. Then you take your shot. But we'll see. We'll see. No more tosses to Najee. You, boy, Lanisha, you ain't never lied. But all right, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging with me tonight, man. I hope everybody, listen, I know everybody doesn't celebrate everything, so I'm going to just cover everybody and say happy holidays. For you all that celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas to you, man. Have a great night. I hope you enjoyed tomorrow. If you have young ones or whatever, or whoever you're waking up to exchange gifts and all of that. And I hope it's great. My wife and I, we decided like 5-6 years ago, me and her, we don't do any gift exchanging on Christmas because we get each other stuff so much throughout the year. I get stuff for her. She's gotten stuff for me. It's like, it's all about our son, our family, our loved ones, nieces, nephews, fathers, mothers, siblings. We don't do anything for each other. So tomorrow morning, we'll be helping my youngster enjoy his Christmas. Then we got to hit the road. Oh, that's right. I got to tell y'all this. Don't go yet. I'm actually going to my hometown tomorrow, Richmond, Virginia. My brother's hosting Christmas for the entire family at his home. So once again, I'll be watching the game with a host of people around. I can't get into my vibe. Oh, man, hold on, man. Walter Worthy with the stocking stuffer. That's more than some Wonderbread right there, man. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate it. He says, Merry Christmas to you and yours, Sim, and chat. Hope you have a blessed day. Let's go Steelers. You as well, Walter, man. To you and yours, your family, all of y'all out there. Have a wonderful Merry Christmas. And like I said, guys, I will be in Richmond, Virginia. We're getting up. Let my little man open his presents, and we're going to shoot down at about 8:30. We'll get down there, about 12-ish. It takes a little over 3 hours to get out there where my brother lives. And I'll be watching the game amongst a lot of other families, so there will probably not be a post-game show. We're going to spend the night there. We'll work from his home on Thursday. We'll shoot back up here Thursday evening when the traffic is settled. So just giving y'all the play-by-play. What I might do, I'm going to try. I may do a little something on the phone or something. I don't know. I just want to let y'all know in advance. It more than likely will not be a post-game. It's possible that I may do a little quick something on the phone, but let's not count on it. But I just wanted to give y'all the heads up. But outside of that, y'all know the routine, man. For those who haven't already, hit that like button. If you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel. And of course, turn on your notifications. And also share the stream, man. Share it with others. But before we go, especially tonight, and this being a holiday, can't say weekend, but a holiday half week, make sure you guys stay safe. Please stay healthy. God bless. Good night. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, guys, I shall see you in the next one. And hopefully we're talking about some type of win against the Kansas City Chiefs. All right. See y'all soon. Peace.